We now have seven states where Trump supporters submitted false election certifications to Congress in an attempt to overturn that state's electoral college vote and hand it over to Donald Trump. Those states are Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So 7 states now. It started as 2, then 3 more were revealed. Now 2 more have been revealed after that. The question is, how many more are we going to find out about as this story continues to roll on? But I think the bigger question that everybody has right now is what the hell is going to happen to the people who did this? When are they going to be arrested? When are we going to round them up and throw them in jail? I know that's the question I have, and unfortunately, we're starting to give those answers. And I say unfortunately because they're not looking good. In Pennsylvania, for example, you have Attorney General Joshua Shapiro, who said, quote, while the, quote, rhetoric and policy were intentionally misleading and purposefully damaging to our democracy, they don't believe that it rises to the level of forgery. So Pennsylvania's Attorney General, Democrat, by the way, telling us, we don't know that we can do anything about it. Yeah, it looks bad. It was pretty bad. And the rhetoric is terrible, but, is it really forgery when you submit a fake document to the United States government? I'm going to go with yes. Try submitting a fake document to the government, anybody, and see what happens to you. No, actually don't, because you're going to go to jail. Because it is forgery, it is fraud. At least over in Michigan, that Attorney General, Dana Nessel, who's got a whole host of problems of her own, at least she's taking this seriously, because she says, yeah, this is pretty clear, fraud, and it's also election fraud. And we're going to go after these people for both of these things. Other states are still trying to figure out, is it actually illegal? Is this something we can prosecute? And at least that's something more, obviously, than what Pennsylvania's Attorney General said was like, it's not forgery, don't worry about it. But the other states really are trying to figure out, and I know this sounds weird, but they're trying to figure out if it was a crime. Because it's not as cut and dry as we would like to think it is. Okay, it's not as simple as submitting a fake document to the United States government. That's an oversimplification of things. Was it on official letterhead? Did it use any official seals? We know in Arizona that yes, it did. That one's pretty clear. That would be forgery and fraud. But some of these other ones, if you're just some yahoo and you've written a letter and then you send it into Congress, is that a crime? And that, unfortunately, is what these state attorneys general have to figure out. Yes, it's serious. Yes, I do think all of these people should go to jail. But the law's not necessarily written that way. So these attorneys general do have their work cut out for them. They have to look at whether or not this violates election laws. They have to look at whether or not this violates the state's fraud laws. They have to look at whether or not it's forgery. They have to look at all of these different things to see if it is something that's even prosecutable. And I know that sounds weird because to you and me looking at this, yes, clearly this should be a crime. But just because it should be doesn't mean that it is. So let's hope that these investigators who are looking into this across these states are able to find a good applicable law to actually prosecute these individuals, because they do need to be held accountable by our justice system for attempting to overthrow the 2020 election. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.